We're live. I'm not going to be on very long. I'm feeling like I'm going to read a little bit of my book, the book, How to Get Out of Babylon, also called Wings of an Eagle, and a few other titles. And that's about it. I think that's enough for tonight. Hope my voice will last that long. So here we go. No bunny trails and no rabbit holes. Okay, so I finished off, not totally, but when I stopped reading, I was reading my poem called Last Babylon, written in the year 2000, about there, 2000, 2001. And that poem, was, I'm not taking any credit for it at all. I mean, it was things that the Father had been teaching me for a number of years and just all came together in one weekend. I just had taken notes on a little pad of paper for 3 days solid. Just ideas going through my head, writing them down. That when it became a book and then the website. And I just found out today that the website, I can't pull it up anymore. For all these years it's been up on, web archive, but I can't find it right at the moment. It died. Or at least it's not there now that I can pull it up. And my voice is shot. I don't know if this is going to work tonight. I might just can if I can't sound any better than that. Okay. So that once it's uploaded, you can click on the captions and put in English and then pull up the transcript. And it's pretty good about doing that. So, all right. My voice is not good though, that's for sure. I didn't know that until I just started talking here. So, all right, here we go. So basically, everybody listen to me for any length of time understands the essence of my position. That is that this region, the Ozark Plateau, put a dot on Springfield, Missouri, take a compass. I can go around a 120-mile diameter on a map, and that'll give you a pretty good safe region. And that came about because I'm going to go into that here. So, frog in my throat. All right, so the poem, Last Babylon. So that poem brings out several ideas. Number one, we're headed for hard times. Number two, we need to be living closer to the land. Number three, whether we believe it or not, whether we like it or not, whether we want it or not, if we're living in a safe area, we will most likely see vast numbers of refugees pouring out of the cities as the social infrastructure deteriorates in this country. And number four, storage food, when we speak of storage food, needs to be utilized in the best method of food preservation that there is. It's not dehydration, it's not smoked meat, it's not canned, it's not even fermented, although that's great. And that is meat on the hoof and crops in the ground. Food needs to be growing. So. Back in the 1830s, Joseph Smith made a prophecy. He said that the area of southwest Missouri would be so flooded with refugees that there would almost be the threat of famine. It was not because the land was not capable of producing enough food for such a massive amount of people, but because he just can't store enough food for the vast numbers he saw coming in as refugees. Now, whatever possessed him or however he saw that, I totally agree with him. Yes, there should be food storage, but the main part of your food storage needs to be crops or growing food, and animals, sheep, goats, cattle, etc. Root crops, berry bushes, dwarf fruit trees, root crops, corn, beans, squash, etc., etc. Grapes, on and on and on. Oh man, it's not good. No matter what one may believe about Joseph Smith or the Mormon Church in general, this statement has a lot of wisdom and foresight in it. And I would also point out that if it were not for the Mormon movement, there would be precious little capability in this country in the way of food storage technology. Like I was taking a shower one day and I was just like praising the Lord and just thanking for all the positive, good things I was seeing. was like, oh, thank God for the Mormon Church. If it weren't for them, there would be no food storage in this country because they pioneered the whole industry of long-term storage food. We knew a Mormon gal. She was taught by her mother. She always had, the whole time we knew her, she had 2,000 jars of canned food in her pantry. Not going to last long here. She had something hot to drink. So she always had 2,000 jars of canned food in her pantry that she'd personally canned and just rotated it. And we're very disciplined about using it. And I saw one Mormon contraption. It was you put cans in, and they would roll like this. So you take one out of the bottom, it would roll from the top. So you buy your new food and you put it at the top. So you're always using the oldest food because it's coming out of the bottom. It would just rotate, like that. You have about 10 of them or something. And they made rotating like Lazy Susans for the corner cabinets where you can't get in there. It would make one to fit in there, and it would turn. Big turnstile thing with like three or four rows of canned food on it. Really good. So a lot of the great inventions are in the way of food storage, food technology, food preservation technology. I'd mention again, everybody should get the book, The Lost Art, The Lost Superfoods. That's a really good book. All right. So this is where we will be faced with refugees or homeless people. When, not if, judgment begins in this country, we're going to see some massive amounts of changes. As I come into the part of the country that I believe will be ruled by God's law, and this is an area we're going to cover briefly, which area of the country to go to, things are going to change. Life is going to be very different. We can refuse to be part of the solution, but in so doing, we will be making ourselves a part of the problem. So I've been advising people for many years. Number one, get out of the cities. Number two, get out of the cities. Rule number three, get out of the cities. Get away from the borders. Get away from the coasts. The coast is toast. Borders are going to be horrors. Both the south and north, both. Chinese and Russians coming over the northern border, and Chinese and Mexican and Venezuelan and everybody coming into the southern border. So get away from the borders. Get away from the coast. We need to be as prepared as possible. As many people as possible need to do things ahead of time. In other words, we need to do these things now. It is virtually too late now, but a lot of good can still be done. A lot of preparation and groundwork can still be laid, so we need to have the utmost in cooperation. We do not need to have perfect doctrine. We do not need to have the splitting of hairs and arguing, screaming and yelling about what we believe and whether you're a lunar salad or a Sabbath keeper or geocentricity versus heliocentricity or, flat earth versus ball earth. It's not important right at the moment. What we need to be is helping each other get ready for what's coming at us. We do not need to have the splitting of hairs and arguing and screaming and yelling about different doctrinal viewpoints. We need to work and work together. One of this country's founding fathers stated, "Gentlemen, we shall either hang together or we will most assuredly hang separately." I think it was Benjamin Franklin, I'm not positive. May I suggest that an untold amount of suffering could be avoided by cooperative preparedness. That's what I'm advocating, is cooperative preparedness. Everybody learn, everybody do something, do your part. That's about all I was going to read there, I think. Plus, I don't have any more screenshots. So, and the PDF will be in the description, also in the camp comments. The link for it there. You can download the PDF, and you could be following along with me. Actually, I could add that up. Let me check it out. Yeah, we're on about page 7. Probably one more section, one more paragraph or two. The next section is titled, "How Should We Then Be Living?" We need to get back to the land and be caretakers of the garden. Adam and Eve were given the charge to take care of the garden, to take care of the earth. In fact, a series of commands, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, take dominion, and subdue it, are 5 things. They're not all saying the same thing. They're not all saying, be fruitful, multiply, have much as much as the children, although that's part of it. The replenish the earth part, I believe, is at least in part to take care of the earth, to take care of the garden, to be caretakers, to tend it, to replenish it and renew it, the soil. We would be blessed much more by replenishing the earth instead of poisoning and toxic waste dumping and strip mining and clear cutting it, all of which are far too prevalent. I know that I may sound like a liberal there. I used to sound like a liberal, a lot less now, because a lot of people actually realizing that that's what we need to do. I'm not honest, but we do need to take care of the earth. A dictum was laid down by a memorable speaker I once heard in my college days. His motto was, when man sins, nature suffers. When man does something stupid, nature is the one that suffers. But then, as I say, beware of the fact that nature bats last. That hurt, you piss nature off, and it might come in the form of a hurricane, tornado, or whatever, and it's going to come back on you. So don't do that. All right, so. So my contention, one of my beliefs and contentions I came to believe in was that if we are actually replenishing the earth, that there would be less blowback from the earth, as far as earth-oriented judgments. So you look at a lot of the, judgments that come down in the book of Revelation are earth-oriented judgments, flooding, you have things like that. And so you can have maybe less of that if we're taking care of the earth. If we're in an area where we are taking care of the earth more than other areas, there may be less of that. And I believe that this will be a fairly safe, relatively safe area. Like I said, from Springfield in the middle and around Springfield about 100, 120 miles. Okay, I'm done there. That's it. So anybody on? Hey, there are. Hey, Jim, how you doing? How's your daughter doing? Hi, Evelyn. Walpini. Oh yeah, absolutely. Walpini is the way to go. Yeah, excellent. And there's different people who've done underground greenhouses. Walpini's one, and then Mike Ehler, Oehler, up in Idaho, built underground greenhouse. And when he does something, he would always brainstorm and perfect it. He had a catwalk and he had a trench, about a 3-foot deep trench. So when the cold air came in, we go down to the trench, and it didn't affect the plants because that was about 6 foot lower than where you're growing your plants. So you had a catwalk, you're walking on the catwalk, the cold air's down below you, and then he'd be working at the, waist to head level with the plants. So that's really good. We do it. Also, Rob Lloyd did has a book on underground greenhouses. So look up Mike Ehler, Oehler. Common Sense Homestead. Hey there, everybody. Common Sense. Hi. Yeshua is the way. Hello. Hallelujah. Yeah. So, you can download the book. Like I said, in the comments, there will be a download link for the book. And they said the really good link it was all hot link. It was the way it was received, the website. And the links all still worked. I can't find it right now. It's just the link blew up. Very sad. That was the best one. It had, all 8 sections, the preface and the addendum. Click, 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 forward, back, forward, back, previous page, next page, click, click, click. Really nice, but gone at the moment. ATM at the moment. Okay. All right. I am not going to last here, so my voice is gone. So I hope you can hear me. Were you able to hear me okay, Jim? Blessings on everybody that's out there, and thank you. Like I said, everyone needs to do what they can do. Be prepared as best you can for what's coming. We don't know how it's going to play out, but we're not going to continue on this same train we're on, this track we're on for any great length of time. I don't think. We'll see what happens after the, as a result of the election play out. If anything good happens, I think some good things will happen. So anyway, that's about it. My voice is gone, so I'm not going to push it here. All right, well, God bless everybody. Thank you for chiming in and listening in. And like I said, download the book, PDF, follow along, read it. I had one guy call me and he said, I've been reading your book for 3 weeks. And I went, 3 weeks? You can read it in 30 minutes. He goes, well, I've been reading it, studying it, absorbing it. He said, I understand it. I said, I get you. He said, I believe in you. Wow, that was heavy. First time I'd ever heard that in my life. Only time I've ever heard that in my life. So anyway, he came out and visited, spent one night, and went back to Maryland. But it's kind of sad to see him go. He came out to help me, and it didn't work out. It was a chilly night, and he wasn't warm enough. Anyway, God bless everybody. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye. Hi, Sean. Yeah. God bless, buddy. Thank you. You too. Have to get together one of these days. Jim and Sean both, yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? All right, well, good night. God bless.